Hi, everyone. This is April 7th, 2022, and we're going to be talking about 6 CO2 facts that might startle you, as well as things that we can do to heal our planet easily without much of a change in our daily life. In fact, if anything, it would be all positive changes because it's going to bring a lot more money in our budgets, and it might even improve our physical health in addition to our physical health. So join me and I'll get started in just a moment.
Okay, so we're going to get started. Whether you have climate anxiety or only a mild case of climate concern, and who doesn't these days, these tips are going to put you in the seat of power. We have way more power in our hands than we realize. And I think that getting the right information and then using it is going to be the shift that we need now. So let's jump in. What are 6 carbon CO2 facts that maybe you aren't aware of and maybe might startle you a little bit? Here we go. So the first one is, you already know this one, it's not the one that's going to startle you. Scientists are warning us that if we must prevent temperatures from rising and restore healthy ecosystems, we know that policymakers and politicians have skirted the issue for over half a century, and at the most recent COP26, they failed to come up with a plan that would actually work. So what is clear is that if this is going to get done, we have to do it. Now, let's jump in to the carbon facts that you need in order for us to do what must be done, because it's actually not that difficult. So, a couple of the facts that I wanted to share with you today. Just 20 of the largest oil, gas, and coal companies are responsible for over 1/3 of the CO2 in the atmosphere. Just 20. And here's another fact. Over half of each barrel of oil is used to make plastic, polyester, asphalt, and rubber. So whenever we're using those drink and toss plastic or wearing polyester, you have to realize that over half of the barrel of oil is going to make that. So can you make another choice so that we're reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, which is polluting the atmosphere, responsible for over 1/3 of the CO2 in the atmosphere? Now, we are the customer. Individuals in the Middle East, Australia, US, Canada, South Korea, and Russia have the largest CO2 footprint per capita by far. Europe's is actually quite low, and Africa's is a rounding error compared to everybody else, especially the big ones. So, and even when you say, oh, well, China's the #1 CO2 emitter. Yes, and they have a lot more people, and India's #3, we're #2 in the United States. But think about it. Does China make a lot of the goods that we import? If so, and they're the factory of the world, aren't the world's fingerprints on all of the CO2 emissions there? So again, how can we affect that? Well, we can actually shop less, right? Do we need to have a completely new wardrobe every season? Or can we have a uniform at work? I mean, we just need to rethink a few things here. And what I like to say, especially in my new book, The Power of 8 Billion, it's up to us, which it is if we put the health of our planet, the healing of our planet at the top of the list, and then make our decisions from that perspective, rather than, I really want those pair of shoes, I really want that new polyester suit, I really want that drink and toss, quick drink at, that just, fast food or fast casual restaurant. If we really start rethinking these things and say, you know what, I can do without it until I get home and I'll make one myself, or go to a place where they will make that for you in something that is not a single-use container. Again, it's not that difficult. Pre-think it, bring your own reusable container. Can really matter a lot because now you're knowing the facts. Here's another one that of the greenhouse gas emissions, this is all of the sectors, transportation, unless you're walking and riding a bike, you participate in that. Electricity, if you turn the lights on in your house, you participate in that. Industry, most of us buy things, we participate in that. Commercial and residential, we go to work sometimes at office buildings, we shop at commercial places, we live in a house, and we eat food. So again, our fingers are in all of these slices. If we know it, we can impact it, we can change it. Can we work from home, ride a bike or walk, at least ride a bike and walk for closer errands? Can we insulate our home better, use LED lighting, use natural sunlight instead of turning on the lights, unplug our charges? Can we use less, buy less? Should we, again, work from home and make sure that not just our home, but also where we work or where we worship or where our kids go to school is properly insulated so that it's not an energy hog? And can we eat local and organic? Because a lot of this agricultural footprint is in fact industrialized farms that are located far from the consumer. And then you also have the trucking transportation involved in trucking the food there. I mean, even better actually would be, even better would be local gardens. Can you have a local garden in your backyard, community garden, a school garden, a church garden, and start growing more of your own food? We are the customer. Again, the US grid is about, let's see here, 60% fossil fuels, 20% nuclear, and about 20% renewables. Now, some places like the Middle East, it's way higher than that. And also we have to consider that for a lot of us, our heating and certainly our cooking is pretty much 100% natural gas. So we want to be cognizant of this and of ways, this is just getting smart, right? It's insulating better. It's having maybe smart devices. It's not heating and cooling your house when you're away. Again, there are energy hogs and there are energy vampires. If you know the difference, you'll use the energy hogs less, a timer on your water heater or an on-off switch so that you're not heating and cooling your water while you're sleeping or at work, unplugging or a power strip on your devices so it's not an energy vampire, and of course on when you enter, off when you leave, for lighting. This will make a big difference. And by the way, it'll also make a big difference at your church so that the money that you donate can go to good causes, at school so it can go for music instruments and some of the things that you really want your kids to learn. Now, this is the shipping yard at Long Beach Harbor. So again, we are the customer. We're the ones that are using all this stuff, and we should be rethinking how much we use and what can we reuse and what can we do without, and how can we rethink the way that we live. Putting the earth as healing our planet as #1 priority. This is another fact. And again, it is a CO2 fact because plastic is a fossil fuel, a petrochemical. Only 8.7% of plastic was recycled in 2018. This is a source from EPA.gov. So what can you do about that? A lot of us are saying, thinking we can drink and toss, oh, it's going to be recycled, blah, 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 but it's not. So if we know that, then we're going to have to do it on the user end rather than, look, yes, it would be great if it's recycled, but guess what? That's going to use a lot of water and that's going to use a lot of fossil fuels too, because it's a petrochemical. So is there a way where we can use less single-use products? It may involve making sure that our local water supply is clean and filtered. It may involve thinking in advance and having a canteen that you fill up and, take around with you when you're on a walk or even in your car. It may mean having your reusable container with you all the time. So again, just pre-thinking a little bit and understanding that these facts are empowering, because when we don't have the facts, we are part of the problem that we need to fix, not just for our kids, for us today. Here's another quick fact. 16 billion cups a year, and that means that 6.5 million trees are cut down. That's just for the coffee cups. That's not, the amount of trees cut down for paper products is bigger than that. So definitely you want to stop, that habit that people got back into, which the drink and toss. Single use everything is not good. You now know that it's not being recycled. Also, however, the NRDC has a toilet paper stock report card. There are some companies that are cutting down old growth forests, and others that are using recycled toilet paper. You can use recycled toilet paper and make a huge difference. It does matter, because CO2, and here's another CO2 fact, one of the best ways that we can pull CO2 out of the air is through our trees, especially the old growth forests, and even in our soil. So having a healthy trees and healthy organic farms and organic gardens and that are native to our area, not, trying to grow things that are not native to our area. There's all kinds of benefits to that. In addition to the food will grow better, it's better for our wildlife. It's better for our, as they say in England, mini beasts are like pollinators, butterflies, bees, that sort of thing. The world's soils contain 2 to 3 times more carbon than the atmosphere. So 4pmil.org, 4p1000.org is saying, look, if we just increase the amount of carbon in the soil by 0.4% each year, the annual increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere would be considerably reduced. Now, in order to sequester carbon in the soil, we can't have fallow fields and industrialized farming. It really does have to be regenerative farming. So again, you can start out, if you don't want to have your own garden, eat local, eat organic. You're supporting those people that are going to become not just farmers now, but carbon stewards. So what can we do about all these facts that we just learned? We can drive less. We can use less. There's no excuse for single use. We can plant an organic garden, and we can eat local and organic. And if we did all of this, then we could meet the challenge of reducing our personal CO2 footprint by 30% this year. Again, having gratitude for our home planet and putting the health of our planet at the top of the list, that changes the way we think about everything. It certainly changed the way I think about things. So as an example, we did our investor educational retreats in person prior to the pandemic. Now, some people are saying, let's go back and do that. Well, I can save 100 air flights a year by hosting it online, minimum. So for the beginner retreats, I am absolutely going to put the health of the planet above our desire to be together. Now, those people that come to the retreats and join our volunteer team and become part of our brain trust, yes, there is merit for us all to meet. And hopefully that smaller group of carbon stewards can be the shift makers in big communities, so that the carbon that we're going to create by coming together is more than offset. So think about it that way too. Think about it in terms of natural fibers for your clothing, organic local food. How much clothes do you really need? Do you need a new car? Can you start walking, riding a bike more? Can you work from home if you're not already? Have you insulated? Now you might say, wow, that's a pretty long to-do list, right? But as you tick it off, it becomes the way life is. And you can meet this year 30% reduction in CO2. And next year, if you still have a few things on the to-do list, you'll meet those and it'll be another 30%. And we will heal our planet together, because we have power the power of 8 billion of us. And yes, there were 7.9 billion of us at last count. There may be 8 because it's just clicking like that. And it is up to us. So I do encourage you, look, these are just some of the statistics, some of the facts, and some of the solutions that are in the power of 8 billion. It's up to us. This is my new book. We're in pre-launch mode, and we really need your reviews and for you to spread this with your community. The foreword was written by Kathleen Rogers. She's the president of earthday.org. That's the largest environmental organization in the world. I have been researching sustainability for 20 years. The thing that I've done in the book is feature people around the world who are doing great things. Excuse me, I got a cough. So you're going to hear about people that started saving thousands of dollars by riding a bike to work annually. The average amount that we spend on a car, one car, you know, if we have more cars in the family, it's even more. It's about $7,500 per year. If you add up the payments, the gasoline, the insurance, and the maintenance, it's about that. So we could save a lot of money by getting smarter about these things. With, you know, if you aren't powering with solar and you live in a sunny state, we still have in the United States a 26% tax credit. A lot of the solar companies are offering financing for you too. So there are solutions out there. And again, a lot of them are going to be outlined, including people that have done it and them, you know, telling you how it's affected their lives positively around the world. There's a lot to be inspired by. So again, please do go to nataliepace.com. Click on the book cover. It takes you right over to Amazon. As you can see, we priced it as low as Amazon would let us for the ebook. And it's only $12 for the print edition. And we need to get to 50 ratings. That's our goal before Earth Day. So please help us. I'm actually going to be having a sweepstakes, so anybody can join our sweepstakes. There won't be any, any purchase necessary to do so. However, if you write a review, we will give you extra tickets for it. So thank you again for joining me. And I will be, as you know, I do monthly video conferences, sometimes a couple times a month. I did it twice a week this week. And you can always watch it back on youtube.com/Natalie Pace. If you would like to join our video conferences live, you do need to be on our list. So you got to email info@nataliepace.com. You can call our offices. You can get that contact information by just emailing us, and we'll be happy to give you a phone number. Also, I want you to be sure to join me on social. I'm very active there as well, especially Instagram for environmental stuff. One last thing, we are hosting an Earth Gratitude celebration this year on Earth Day, April 22nd. Go to earthgratitude.org. We're going to be featuring a song by Sia, the Dalai Lama. We have a lot of great panels talking about Earth 2.0, like how we can be the healers of our planet. We also are going to have a kids corner featuring great people around the world who are taking the plastic out of their schools, outdoor learning gardens for the kids. It's saving a boatload of money on water waste that would be go for lawns, and instead installing gardens. I mean, it's really exciting what's going on with the kids. So we can't wait to share this with you. Go to earthgratitude.org now so that you can sign up. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you soon.